Episode 7 here, doing another tier list. Today I'm gonna be ranking the Five Nights at Freddy's games. Now we've only got Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, 3, 4, Sister Location, Pizzeria Simulator, and Ultimate Custom Night on this list, but I will be including FNAF World and FNAF VR Help Wanted on this as well. I'll just explain them later on. So yeah, let's get to the ranking. If you hear anything in the background, I'm sorry. I'm going to probably play some music so that way you don't hear that. But anyways, let's start off with probably the easiest one. Whoa. Five Nights at Freddy's 4. I do not like Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Definitely the least interesting Five Nights at Freddy's game, at least in terms of like gameplay. I think the game is way too like reliant on listening and like blasting out your eardrums if you're wrong. I don't like that. And it's not like the game's even scary at all. Like, people do say it's scary, and to be fair, it's a little creepy, but the game isn't scary as it's just more shocking and annoying. I really hate the design choice. It's a very bad idea, especially since the breathing is just so hard to hear in the first place. It's just not good. I don't like the game that much. It got rid of so many things. It got rid of the cameras. Like, I don't like it at all. And this is where the lore really started to get confusing with stuff like the box that you have, like the locked box, and like the bite of 87 versus bite of 83, all that stuff. So infamous and just not a fun game. It was very obvious that it was rushed. I mean, it was going to come out on Halloween of 2015, but then he pushed it to August of 2015. And then he pushed it to July, just so that way he would get famous for pushing a game out that fast. But it's very clear that that came with a lot of downsides. Didn't mean to go in that in depth on it, and now you know why I did not get this game on the Nintendo Switch. Because yeah, out of FNAF 1, 2, 3, and 4, I didn't get 4. I just did not see value in it. I did not feel like shocking myself today. I did not feel like doing that. Okay. We'll do Sister Location next. Yeah, I'd say Sister Location's at an A tier. Definitely the only real one of the first Five Nights at Freddy's game I was on the hype train for, because I kind of started really getting into Five Nights at Freddy's when Sister Location was kind of the talk. And it's definitely the best. Like, it's definitely really good, and it was, I would say, possibly the peak of the Five Nights at Freddy's series. Hold on real quick, wait a minute. See if you can hear something real fast. Sorry about that. But I don't know, Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location is like the peak. This is where like the series peaked in terms of how good it is. And then afterwards, it didn't go like nosedive downwards, but it definitely isn't as good as like, it isn't as magical as that of like Sister Location. Just really fun. It wasn't super scary like FNAF 4 was. It still had randomness like FNAF 4, but it was way better. So, yeah, Sister Location gets an A tier. Now we'll just do Ultimate Custom Night, right away. This is going as C tier. I haven't played a lot of Ultimate Custom Night. I haven't played a lot of it. I have played a little. I don't know. I don't have much to comment on. I don't know. I think it would have been much better if it was just a mode and like, if it was just an update to FNAF 6, which we'll get to that one later in the list. But I don't know. In fact, I think it was originally going to be an update, and then it was just made into its own game. I don't know that for sure, though. Don't quote me on that. It might not be true. I don't know. But I don't really have much to say for Ultimate Custom Night. I will do 4 more to go, plus 2 additional ones. Oh yeah, I'm not going to be including AR on this list as well, the FNAF AR Augmented Reality game. I'm not going to be including that because that was just stupid. I'd probably put that game in like a C or D tier, if you want to know where I would put it. We'll do FNAF 6. Yeah, I would definitely say an A tier. I like FNAF. I like Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. I'm just going to call it FNAF 6. I really liked that it was just, I like that it wasn't super complex to figure it out. The game was very interesting. The only thing is that I wish they expanded more on the tycoon kind of game. I don't know, if they made that into like a much grander game, that would be really cool. Instead of just being like a few days and then the whole thing just burns down. I do gotta say, I do like the lore in this game. I like how it wraps up the story basically, because it has like the remains of like Springtrap and Baby and the puppet and like Molten Freddy, whatever is in like Molten Freddy. They kind of wrap that up in this game, and the lore is not super difficult to figure out, and the game's just fun. Lots of customization. Just wish they did a little more with it, but it's still getting an A tier because I like this game a lot. Alrighty. We'll do the original FNAF. Yeah, B tier. Here's the thing about the original Five Nights at Freddy's. Yes, it is the first one. And you know what? And to be fair, it isn't the most... And to be honest, it isn't very fair to put it at a B tier. Because to be fair, it was the first one. But like all the other games just screw so much on it. Like Five Nights at Freddy's 2, we'll get to that later. That game just improves on everything the first game did. And I think the first game is definitely still good, but it's definitely the most basic out of all the Five Nights at Freddy's games. Like, it's very basic. Not really a lot to it, and there's just not a lot to do in the original FNAF game, because once you finish like 420 mode, that's kind of it. Like, that's really nothing left to do. FNAF 2 had challenges, like challenge nights, like the 420 mode and like Double Trouble and like Night of Misfits, but not the first game. So yeah, like again, the original Five Nights at Freddy's is always great, but definitely isn't that best either. But yeah. Five Nights at Freddy's 3. We'll do FNAF 3. Interesting opinion. I like FNAF 3. I actually like FNAF 3. I definitely do know where people are coming from, why they don't like it. It's definitely very easy. And it's definitely not that original. But, I don't know. I always liked FNAF 3. It's just it's just interesting. It is easy, but I do feel like the fan animatronics do a good job. And there's a lot, and it's not like the first game where it's like, you could, when it comes to the cameras, where it's just like, oh, in the first game, just look at Pirate's Cove the whole time, or FNAF 2, just look at the prize corner and just so you can wind the music box. FNAF 3, you have to constantly like monitor where Springtrap is, and while you could probably find a pattern somewhere in there, you're never sure what it'll do next, considering there are multiple shortcuts in the attraction, like the air vents, and just how the hallways and stuff like that are connected. So, and I like FNAF 3. I don't know. The only problem I have with FNAF 3 is just the fact that I don't like how the game looks. It's overwhelmingly puke green. I don't like it. And for being like a horror attraction sort of thing, it doesn't really work. It just looks really ugly. I don't know. Especially when I can like the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 2, which came out beforehand, and those games had a lot more color. But yeah, FNAF 3, great game. It definitely is easy, and it's definitely not that unique, but it's very good. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Bam. It's S tier. I love Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It took everything that the first game did so well, and it just expanded upon it. More animatronics, more cameras, an introduction of mini games, and new mechanics as well. Really like Five Nights at Freddy's 2. There's not really a lot I have to say about it. I don't know why I like it so much. I really don't know. I don't know. I think it's just I think it's very. I don't know. It's just a fun game. I don't know how to describe it. I can't describe it, but I don't know. S tier for FNAF 2. Now that's all the games that are listed on here, but let's include. I already mentioned that AR. If I were to grade it, it would probably be a C or D tier game. I did not like it. But let's move on to FNAF World. I would probably put FNAF World in A tier. I like FNAF World. Regardless of what critics will say about the game, and regardless of what Scott likes to think about the game, FNAF World was a good game. I wouldn't necessarily say it was a unique kind of game. It was the game that you wouldn't get most of the time nowadays. It's like, it was a very simple RPG sort of thing. I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like, I would love to see if Scott could actually put that game on consoles. Like, he put FNAF 1, 2, 3, and 4 on consoles. I'd love to see him put like 5 and 6 and FNAF World on the Switch. I'd love to see that. Especially FNAF World, because that's just a relaxing game to play compared to like the other FNAF games. But I don't know, I like FNAF World. It just has fun gameplay. It looks nice with like the new update and stuff like that. And it just has a fun, a bubbly soundtrack. Very unlike like the other FNAF games. And yeah. And then FNAF VR would be another A tier game. I love FNAF VR. I played it at a friend's house, and I do have it on my PS4. And I will say, with a normal controller, FNAF VR does work, but it's not very ideal. But playing the game in actual VR with a PlayStation VR was so magical. And to be honest, that's the main thing I would want the PlayStation VR for, to play that game. And to be honest, and unlike FNAF 4, it isn't that scary of a game. You could close your eyes and just wait for the inevitability to happen. I love FNAF VR. I really want to be able to actually get a PlayStation VR sometime so I can actually like play the game in VR the way it's intended. But such a fun game. So that is all the Five Nights at Freddy's games ranked. Just a quick recap. S tier we got FNAF 2. A tier Sister Location, FNAF 6, FNAF 3, FNAF World, and FNAF VR. Help Wanted. B tier, FNAF 1, C tier, Ultimate Custom Night, and D tier, FNAF 4, with AR possibly going in at C tier or D tier. More than likely D tier because I didn't like it. Well, that is pretty much it for this video, so thank you guys for watching this. Let me know what you guys would want me to rank in like the next one of these tier list videos, and yeah. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
It's showtime! Did you enjoy the show? Well, time for the highlight.